A few weeks ago, there was a big discussion on the Homemade Wanderlust backpacking forum on Facebook about the Jetboil stoves, and I have the Jetboil MiniMo, and most people said it's heavy, which it is. It weighs 1 pound, 0.3 ounces. I used to have a Snowpeak Giga Power auto stove, but I lost it, and I just recently bought this Etekcity ultralight backpacking stove, which is this big. It weighs 3.8 ounces. Now that's not really fair because the Jetboil does have a pot. So if I add a pot to this, it's a titanium pot, I'm up to 8.2 ounces. So 1 pound versus 8 ounces, almost half a pound difference. Another thing is, this is quite bulky. I can fit this stove and a canister in that big a size. If I try to put the canister in here, the most efficient way I've found to do this is to kind of like put this inside there and put this inside here. Try to put this in, and actually it worked this time. If you compare the size of those two things, this is much bulkier and harder to fit in your pack, and this is much smaller and easier to fit in your pack. The next disadvantage is fuel. The Jetboil will only run on these kind of canisters, and this cost $5.50 at the Nantahala Outdoor Center. This I got at Target, clearance, 54 cents. Much more capacity, and this stove will actually run using this canister. The Jetboil will not run using that canister. No gas. Now the size of these when they're on their stands or on the canisters is almost identical, but there is one disadvantage with this system is this is pretty slippery, and you have to be very careful about not having that slide off. This one is attached and won't slide off, and the Jetboil also comes with this stand for added stability, and I can never get this in here. Okay, there we go. So better stability is definitely a big plus for the Jetboil. Now the final disadvantage of the Jetboil, which I did not see mentioned in the Homemade Wanderlust backpacking forum, was that if you don't want to use this cup, maybe you have a friend who wants to boil some water and use your stove and they have their own cup, if they use their cup, put it on there, the flames cannot go up through. This flame cannot come up through here and out here because you're blocking it all. And what happens is the flame comes out here, and I think you'll be able to see this. I found this out the hard way. It'll melt this section of the Jetboil. That's a huge disadvantage I didn't know about, and probably the primary reason besides weight that I would not use this backpacking, because we each like to have our own little pot, and when one person's done, the other person puts theirs on. It is sort of difficult to remove this pot when it's hot. Okay, so if this pot's on, say you're done cooking with this pot and you want to remove it and eat out of it, you can't grab this anywhere. I guess you could grab it here, but then that unscrews the cartridge. You actually need to somehow be able to grab this, which maybe you can by the plastic, but you're getting awfully close to the hot part of the stove. Whereas if you have a regular backpacking stove, you do your cooking. When you're done, your friend does their cooking. just for comparison, let's have a little race between these two and see which one can boil water faster. I know it's the Jetboil, but let's see by how much. I'm going to pour 1 cup of cold water in each stove. Unfortunately, I can't use this canister because it's empty. So I'll put the cover on each one and let's give them a try. So here we go. Only a couple turns and this is ready to fire. Jetboil's not lighting. This is boiling already. Looking back at the video, I could tell it took 1 minute and 20 seconds. Maybe a minute-ish? This one was boiling. That's pretty damn fast. I don't know why my Jetboil wouldn't start. I couldn't hear over the roar of the other stove. There we go. Alright, so I can time this. Okay, this is boiling. That was 54 seconds. Now let me see if I can remove this. Okay, this is not hot, so I can remove the pot. So I guess you can touch those. By the way, the Jetboil costs $134. This little stove costs $12. A titanium pot like this costs about $25 on Amazon. So you're looking at $134 versus $37. So for the difference in size and weight and ability to use multiple pots on it, I would definitely go with the Etekcity mini camping stove, which you can get on Amazon. Links in the description. Thanks for watching.